Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life. And in this video, we're going to be talking about 3 spiritual ways to get your ex back. I've made a few videos in the past about some of my, beliefs about like the law of attraction and all of that stuff. And this has been something that I've not talking about in a, context here on this YouTube channel until recently. I'm not like one of those people that's like really sort of flowy in terms of their energy and all of that. I've just sort of, over the past maybe 5 years or so, 5 or 6 years, started to step into more of this spiritual kind of viewpoint. And it's only now that I'm starting to feel comfortable enough to actually bring this up on this platform. I do believe in things like the law of attraction. I've had a lot of experience with that personally that has led me to say, okay, wow, there's definitely something bigger here going on than just, hey, text this and get this response back or matter influencing matter sort of stuff. I also believe that it doesn't really work the way that a lot of people actually think that it works. Just think about your ex and then your ex is going to come back. Just think about whatever, some fancy car, and then boom, there it is in your like. Obviously, that's not going to work. So what we need to do is we need to look at what actually is going on here. If you're just finding this video because maybe you're looking for spiritual reasons to get back together with your ex or something, and you're not familiar with who I am, I'm actually a relationship saving expert. I've helped people through this since 2009. I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Let's just put it that way. But when it comes to the spiritual aspect of all of this, we want to actually consider this as well too, because many times people do focus in on just, hey, what do I text? What do I say? What do I do when this happens? What do I do when that happens? However, that can obviously yield you results, but if you're not looking at how you're bringing yourself to the situation and how you're carrying your own energy, then you're missing a big slice of the pie. And so the first thing that we want to talk about here is detaching yourself from the past. Now, whatever you and your ex had in the past, it has to stay there in the past. Okay, it didn't work out for whatever reason. And we don't just want to revive the past, because then we're bringing with us into the present and thus into the future all the reasons that things didn't work out in the past. And so what we want to be able to do is say, okay, the past is in the past. I'm willing to detach from that. I'm willing to detach from just reviving something that happened in the past. And I'm willing to just say, okay, I'm willing to intentionally create something here in the present moment that I can then step forward into. And this is going to be something fresh, something new, something different. This is why in other videos you hear me say something like, okay, we're not just going to bring back the old relationship, we're going to create a new relationship just with the same person. So we want to detach ourselves from the past so that we can actually position ourselves to step more powerfully into the present moment, intentionally create something in this present moment with that person, and then of course carry that forward into the future to be whatever your relationship is going to be. That's the first thing. And the second thing, and this is probably the big one here, we want to really think about what sort of way of being we want to carry into our relationship or with our dynamic with our ex. We want to start to adopt that right now. If you've been through a breakup, and chances are you have if you're watching this video, you know that after a breakup, you often feel this panicked state of, anxiety, insecurity, all that sort of stuff. Maybe you've done things after the breakup, like called or texted 1,000,000 times, begged, pleaded, done things that are out of character. That's okay. I have been there myself. I know exactly where you're coming from. We call this in our little community damage control mode. But we have to understand that when we are in this place energetically, we're stepping into the energy of scarcity, insecurity, desperation, neediness, lack, anxiety, all that sort of stuff. And if you studied some spiritual sort of stuff, you know that that's just going to draw more of that same energy to you. If you're feeling anxious about, do I still have a chance or not, you're going to carry that anxiety into your future interactions and into your future situations. And you're going to find somehow things to feel anxious about, even if you have to invent those yourself. Oh my goodness, it took them 4 hours to respond to this text message. Why is that? Should I feel anxious about that? Oh my goodness, like they're spending time with someone else. Who is this someone? Who is this friend of theirs? Should I feel anxious about that? If you start to realize that if you live your life from a place of anxiety, you'll always find something to feel anxious about. If you live your life from a place of insecurity, you'll always find something to feel insecure about. If you live your life from a place of scarcity, you'll always find that things are scarce. And so rather than coming at this situation from these lower lower emotions, what we want to do is we want to start to say, okay, what is it I actually want to feel when, I have this relationship that I want? How is it I imagine I'm going to feel? Is it going to be love, connected, peace, something else, just being able to have this sort of effortless bliss that you experience in day-to-day life? And can we actually start to bring that into our life right now? Can we imagine what it's going to feel like right now and embody that emotion right now, and then from there start to feel inspired to do certain things and to get certain results? Okay, so often we have it reversed. We think, okay, here I am, I'm in this low energy sort of place. I need to wait for something to happen to me to lift me into a higher energy place. But we can actually lift ourselves into a higher energy place and then start to draw the results of that higher energy towards us, rather than having to just, rely on, send some text message, convince this person, twist their arm in a certain way, use all the reverse psychology, mind game stuff that you may have heard about on other channels and stuff like that. So what we want to do is we want to say, okay, how is it I want to feel? Can I step into that way of being right now? And from there, what is it I feel most inspired to do? What is it I feel most inspired to say? Who is it I feel most inspired to talk to? And even if these things don't make any logical sense, just know that it could be setting you up for some sort of alignment in something else in the future. You never know who you're going to run into. You never know what sort of conversation you're going to have. You never know what sort of thing you're going to find or something like that. By the way, if you're liking this video, please make sure that you are hitting the thumbs up button for this YouTube video and also subscribing to this channel as well too. But the third thing here is to let go of how it comes to you, including through whom it comes to you as well too. One thing that I have learned about the sort of spiritual forces out there is that it will come to you, and it will come to you through whatever channel is the channel of least resistance, okay? Now, of course, your ex is a person who has their own free will, and if for whatever reason they just don't want to be in a relationship with you, there's really nothing that we can do about that. If they are just closed off to it and they are just not open to welcoming you into their life for better or worse, then that's just how it's going to be. But as long as you're in that place of embracing love and embracing, peace of mind, passion, love, bliss, all these positive things, you will find a way to bring that to you if you let go of it having to come to you from a specific person, from a specific place, in a specific time, in a specific way, or something like that. It can come to you through the path of least resistance. And if that path is through your ex, then okay, great. It'll come to you through your ex and you'll get your ex back. If it is through some other mechanism, you can have that relationship that lets you feel connected, love, joy, bliss, all that sort of stuff. But it may come to you through some other means other than through your ex, or through your ex in a certain time window or something like that. And if you can start to be okay with this, then you'll start to draw either your ex back to you or something better towards you through these spiritual ways of just sort of stepping into that way of being and moving forward from there. The next thing I also want to talk about here as well too is you'll start to get certain little hints that things are coming your way. These are what we call synchronicities, right? So maybe you're reading about something and then suddenly you see that same thing later that day. Or maybe you're having a conversation with someone and some topic just comes up and you're like, I was just having a conversation with someone else about that recently. Or maybe a certain song comes on the radio that's like somehow related to something else that you were just doing. These are what we'd call synchronicities. And of course, you can maybe chalk a couple of these up to circumstance and just coincidence, but after a while it starts to add up and be kind of really crazy. I've had some really intense, strong synchronicities in my life, and they just sort of let me know that I'm on the right path with things. Many times you get these synchronicities, at least for me, you get these synchronicities and it's like, okay, there's no clear action, right? It's not telling me, okay, I need to go to this place. Like, what does it mean? It's just like, okay, I was reading about Bangkok and then something happens about Bangkok and then like, what is that all about? And so it's just the universe's way of saying, hey, you're on the right path, keep going, good things are coming to you, okay? That's the important thing to know about all of this. So with all that being said, if you do like this, then obviously hit the thumbs up button. It means a lot to me, especially on videos like this where I'm kind of stepping outside of my usual scope and being a little bit more vulnerable in terms of my beliefs on these spiritual things and stuff like that. So please make sure you do that. And also, if you do want to get some help and coaching in terms of getting the relationship that you want, please feel free to check out modernlove.life/coaching. Okay, you can find our coaching options there. We have, different sorts of coaching options, including our Commit program, which is our highest level of service, where we help you through things like this, things like your way of being, things like embodying that way of being and bringing it out into the world. We've had, clients who've had amazing successes, not just in their relationships, but also been able to carry these lessons into their careers, into their relationships with their family, into their relationships with their friends, and all sorts of other things as well too. So if you want to learn more about that, please head over to modernlove.life/coaching to see some options over there. Anyway, thanks so much. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.